The 10th anniversary of the Iraq War is fast approaching. It seems this may be the point in time when the most serious of all allegations against the British Army come out. It had already been officially recognised by the establishment here that sections of the army operating around Basra in southern Iraq were engaged in abuse, in practices banned under international law. That all came to a head a couple of years ago in the inquiry into the death of Baha Musa, an innocent young hotel worker wrongly suspected by British troops of collusion with insurgents. They beat him to death. The Ministry of Defence was accused of a corporate failure to ensure standards of conduct. They're about to be accused of a lot more, because lawyers now have testimonies from 180 Iraqis who say they were abused as well. The Ministry of Defence here has always insisted that abuse that did take place by British soldiers against Iraqis was disgraceful, but that it was isolated, it wasn't systemic. Lawyers for the Iraqis have always said that they didn't believe that. Now they say they've got the evidence to prove it. The Baha Musa inquiry found that soldiers were using the so-called 5 techniques: hooding, sleep deprivation, use of noise, wall standing and food deprivation. They'd all been banned by the British government in 1972, but somehow the soldiers knew all about them.
I hope you die of cancer.
Now lawyers acting for the Iraqi civilians want an open, public inquiry into much wider allegations of abuse issues and the extent to which soldiers were trained in torture. A particular focus will be the treatment of longer-term prisoners. Claims, for example, of forced nudity and sexual and religious humiliation of inmates being routinely assaulted.
After all, this country is often critical of abuses committed abroad, rightly so, but it's hypocritical if the UK doesn't itself uphold these standards.
The establishment here portrays the armed forces as a selfless group of people prepared to commit the ultimate sacrifice in the name of protecting the weak. The Ministry of Defence continues to insist it would rather investigate itself than have these disturbing allegations exposed to public scrutiny. Laurence, Al Jazeera, London.